I think now it has started, I guess. Recording pending.
Yes, sir. Now it has started.
Now it is started. Okay. So let's start again what I was saying. Yes. So today here we are going to discuss the microscopic approach or the microscopic origin of entropy. Okay. If you'll see that whatever we have covered, especially in the second law, we can conclude it in a way that we can simply say that from the Clausius equality, we established that this quantity is called change in entropy, because cyclic integral of, so this integrand will be a change in state function because its cyclic integral is 0. So that is classical way to define entropy. But I'm sure when you first confronted this term entropy, probably in your school days, you perceive it like it's a degree of randomness. So I thought that it will be very nice idea that if I can share the microscopic approach of entropy, like what is the definition of entropy in this microscopic approach or framework. Okay, so in order to reach to that level of what we can wisdom, or so that we can understand what is entropy in terms of microscopic origin, we will start with a simple example. So remember, in this microscopic approach, there is something called macroscopic properties. Okay, if you want to find out what are the macroscopic properties in thermodynamics, you see pressure. So that's what these are the actually measurable quantities which you measure. These things you measure: pressure, then let's say entropy. Okay, we can measure temperature also. Fine. Okay, and then there is something called microstates, which is the, you can say, the building units of microscopic approach. Okay, so these are basically building units of this microscopic approach, building blocks, you can say. Okay, in order to appreciate this whole philosophy, okay, we will first take an example. So let's take an example. So let's say you have one dice. Okay, and you have another dice. We have two set of dice. Something like this. Okay, you have two dice. Now let's say I will define a macro state. So now I'm defining a macro state, or what you call macroscopic variables. So macro state. Okay. So let's say I'm defining my macro state as average of two dice. Means whatever will come on the dice when you will roll it. Okay. So let's say we try to find out. Now then, when we are saying this average of two dice is my macro state. Okay, then you will see that let's say we'll first start with that when we will get 2. Okay, so you can help me. When we will get 2 as average, sorry, when we'll get 1 as average. Let's say we can't get 2 because the minimum number sum will be 2. So when we'll get average as 1?
When both die have 1.
Both die have 1 1. Okay, fine. Is there any other way? So number of possible ways. Okay, so this is my macro state. Okay, so this average I am defining as macro state. So for my macro state 1, What are the possible ways? One.
One.
Only one on both. Right. Okay. The number of possible ways is 1. Okay. So what is that combination? As you said, 1, 1. There is only one way. So you have only one microstate. Only one microstate. Okay. Let's take another example. So then let's go to let's say 4. We can do 3 also. Let's take 2, 3. So how we can get this rather than 3? Let's first go to 2. My macrostate is 2. Yes. You want to try, Sneh? What are the can be the combination? 2, 2.
2, 2, 3, 1.
3, 1, 1, 3. That's all. So how many microstates we have? 3 microstates. Okay. Here we have. Let's change the color. Here we have 1 microstate. Here the number of microstates is 3. Okay. Now let's go to. So 2, 3. We keep on going. Let's say
micro, macro.
Yes.
Sir, micro means here you have written micro.
Wait. These are number. Now you tell me about. Yes. Sorry, I was not listening.
Sir, micro state or macro state?
Which one? Okay. Clearly, let me write it clearly here. This is macro state. Okay. Let me use another color. Macro. MACRO. This is macro. Okay.
Okay.
And here microstates. I am saying for getting one as a macro state. Achha, how I have defined my macro state, Nidhi? Average of 2 dice. Whatever will appear on 2 dice, average of that will be my macro state. So in order to get macro state 1, how many microstates you are getting? Only one way.
1.
The way.
Okay.
Okay. In order to getting the average 2, what are the possible ways? 3 microstates.
3.
Okay.
Yes.
So in order to get macrostate 2, macroscopic property 2, there are 3 microstates. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now let's go to let's say 4. So how we can get 4? So in order to getting average 4, we need 6, 2, 2, 6, 3, 5, 5, 3, 4, 4. Anything else coming in your mind? That's all, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So number of microstates 5. Now let's go to 6. I'm skipping 5. Let's go to 6. So in order to get 6, yes, 1, 5. No, sorry, 6. No? So, we have 4. Wait. We passed the. So 4, let's say, will come later. Remember that 4 we have already done. Don't pass this. Wait. Let's go to 3 also, and then we'll come to 4. 3. So for 3, what we can do? I think 2, 4, 4, 2, 1, 5, 5, 1, 3, 3. That's all, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So total number of microstates 5. Okay. Then go to 3.5. I know answer. That's why I'm saying 3.5. This is the macrostate for which you will get maximum number of microstates. So it should be 7. Some should be 7, right? So
Yes.
1, 6,
6, 1.
6, 1, and then we have
3.
2, 5, 5, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. Right. So number of microstates, if you'll see, here 5 and here 6. What if we go to 4? Let's say 4. So 4 we did, na? Just yeah, I think. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
so that we were also getting 5, right?
Yes, sir.
5. So you keep on. Let's say if we do for 12. If we do it for 12, we don't have space. So let's say in the next page, if we do it for 12 as macrostate.
6, 6.
6, 6. The only one way, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So only one way. Basically, if you will draw this on the here, the number of microstates, and here macro state. Graph will be like this Gaussian curve, which is the nature of the nature. You will get maximum number of microstates. You can check for n equals to, for macro state. So say macro state equals to 3.5. Okay. So it means, what does it mean? It means if I'll ask you that for this system, for this two dice system, what will be your what will be the value of the microscopic what will be the value of the macroscopic property? Listen carefully. What, so after this example, now I am asking you the value of macroscopic property, and the name of that property is, let's say, average of dice. This microscopic approach says, okay, because it always talk in terms of probability. Okay, so it says that we will see as macroscopic property, what we'll see is that state, that macro state, for which number of microstates are maximum. States is maximum. So now you can tell me what will be the answer?
3.5.
3.5. Okay. So if I'll ask you what is the microscopic property of this experiment, which is defined as average of dice, answer will be 3.5. So this is the basic philosophy of microscopic origin, that it talks in terms of microstates, and if we are talking about equilibrium, at equilibrium, we will see the formal statement. At equilibrium, basically this will be considered as equilibrium property. At equilibrium, the macroscopic property which you can measure corresponds to the maximum number of microstates. Okay, fine. Now, if you compare this example with our thermodynamic system, so the way we are rolling the dice or shaking the dice, okay, here we have thermal fluctuations in thermodynamics. In this thermodynamics, if you take any system, we have thermal fluctuations that we know. Due to these thermal fluctuations, all the molecules are dancing like dice. Okay, fine. Okay, so due to this thermal fluctuation, all the molecules or constant elements are rolling or dancing like dice. If that is the case, also what can be the possible microscopic property which you can think for these molecules? Microscopic. One is position, another is momentum. Okay, that's all we say. That is called phase space. Okay, so all you need to know about these molecules is position. So when you say position, you should be able to correlate it with potential energy, because potential energy is function of configuration. I am talking about microscopic potential energy. So position and momentum. If you are not, you can say vaguely velocity. Momentum is the correct word, but that's fine. Position and velocity. Okay. So you imagine that if you have let's say certain number of molecules, okay, and let's say if you say that, let's say you have a container, you have a container and you have gas molecules. Fine. Now, let's say you use some pressure measuring device and you measured the pressure. So we measured the pressure. Pressure is what? Pressure is a macroscopic variable. MSCR, macroscopic variable. Okay. Now, what does mean by this in microscopic terms? What does mean by this whatever pressure we are measuring? It simply means whatever pressure we are measuring. Let's say pressure P1. For this P1, the number of microstates. How we are defining here microstate? By two things, X and V, through this doublet. The number of so number of these doublets is maximum. Okay. So basically you are measuring an average quantity. When you are saying pressure, let me give one more example. Okay, just to convince you. I think that example is more than sufficient enough. I think, yeah, that's fine. So what I am saying, let me repeat it again. If you don't understand, then I'll give you another example. Yeah, so what I was saying, that this pressure which you are measuring, if you see from microscopic origin, okay, then this pressure, so let's say there, if you will see the number of microstates, for this pressure, let's say you are getting maximum number of combinations of this X and B. Whereas for some other pressure, let's say, just imagine hypothetically that you are checking it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in Pascal. Okay. If you are measuring 7 Pascal using your pressure device, it means for this number of microstates is maximum. Means possible number of doublets is maximum. For other values, it's less than this. Okay. The way you remember this dice example, that when you are throwing 2 dice, it the average can be 1 also, it can be 2 also, it can be 3 also, it can be 3.5 also, it can be 4 also, it can be 4.5 also, it can be 6 also. So if I'll ask you that, let's say if you repeat this phenomena many times, on an average, which number will be more frequent? You will find that this number is more frequent. And that's what we will measure as a macroscopic properties, because through our various measuring devices, we measure this average property. Okay, because the time scale over which we are measuring and the area of, let's say, if you have a pressure gauge, if you measure the pressure by a diaphragm, the diaphragm area is so large as compared to molecular size that it's by default it's average. You cannot make a device which is of the length scale of a molecule. That is our limitation. So it means we always measure average quantity. Okay, average means you measure for which the number of microstates is maximum. Okay. So of course you will take some time to appreciate this concept. It's not so easy to digest. So that's why I started from a simple example. So you can compare pressure with this average of dice. Now pressure, sometimes if we'll go to molecular level, it is possible that sometimes pressure can be 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7, sometimes 8, sometimes 9. But the probability for 7 will be maximum, because for this the doublets, the number of microstates is maximum. And that's what this whole philosophy says, that you will see that macroscopic property which corresponds to maximum number of microstates. Okay, fine. Let's say partially understood. Now let's move ahead. Gradually this understanding will be clear. Now, there are some postulates. Whatever I have told you, keeping that thing in mind, people have proposed postulate in statistical thermodynamics. So I have given you a microscopic picture, a physical picture. Based on that, some postulates have been established. What is a postulate? You don't need to derive it. That is the basis on which you will grow a subject will grow. A subject will lie on that foundation. That is called postulate. So there is no proof of postulate. You have to think of it. The way I have given you the example, that my dice example and the microscopic picture. Based on that, now I'm writing the postulate, and you can think that how much you get convinced. So postulate says, okay, the postulate says that S, which you know as entropy. Okay, so this postulate directly starts from S. Well, there is more. I am defining this postulate from thermodynamics context. If we'll go to more statistical approach, there is more general definition, but I'm not going to that. Okay, that is similar to what I'm going to write. So in case you find something a bit different, nothing to worry. So I'll directly talking in terms of this thermodynamics. So what it says, and let me write it for you. So S, which is an extensive property. Remember, where H, which is a extensive property. Okay. So wait, let me find that page, because that statement is very important. So before that, first let me write the first postulate, and then it will take 15 more minutes, and it will be not very clear to you, because for that I have to go more deep, but a bit convincing way to understand the microscopic origin. Okay, so the first postulate is that equilibrium state, because remember, whatever we are learning in thermodynamics, we always talk about equilibrium state, because the reversible path means it goes to infinite number of equilibrium states. So equilibrium state, whenever you talk about thermodynamics, every point is at equilibrium. So equilibrium state, because you cannot calculate anything for a process which is not at equilibrium. Okay, you can, but then you have to find a reversible path, means you have to pass through infinite number of equilibrium states. So equilibrium state of a macroscopic system is completely, can be rather than is, can be completely described by its extensive coordinates, which are U, V, and depending on how many components you have, number of moles. Okay, so if you know internal energy or energy, let's say, if you include chemical potential or all other energy, if you know V and if you know number of moles, you can define equilibrium state completely. Second, so this is postulate, this we can't prove. Okay, now second postulate is linked to that microscopic origin, what I'm going to write. There exists a function consists of extensive coordinates, which we just discussed, u, v, and y extensive coordinates. Okay, extensive coordinates, which is called entropy. Okay, which is maximized, at equilibrium, or which is maximized for, you can say, yeah, at equilibrium, that's fine. Okay, what does it mean? It simply means that S will be 0, sorry, rather than S, I should say this way, that the S will be maximum. So basically, when S will be maximum, we will get equilibrium. Okay, these are postulates. Now, how we can link this property entropy with microstates? That we should think. So for this, we have to take the help of this guy, Ludwig Boltzmann. Okay, now I think what he says, that define entropy as degree of randomness, and we'll come to our postulates. Degree of randomness. Then probably you can connect a bit. There is no very direct connection. So degree of randomness. What does it mean by? So can we quantify this? When you are saying degree of randomness, what does it mean? So it simply means maximum number of microstates. So basically, when you are saying, or you can say maximizing number of microstates, maximizing number of microstates. So larger the number of microstates, more will be the randomness. Okay, so microstate is, so you can say randomness is an increasing function of number of microstates. So if I'll ask you in that dice example, okay, just in microscopic framework, for which entropy is maximum? So your answer will be that n equal to that 3.5, that average value, because for that the number of microstates is maximum, and that's why that is an equilibrium property. Okay. So S simply means you want to maximize the number of microstates. So S will correspond to that state. Okay. Sorry. S will try to maximize it, and when it will be at equilibrium, you will find that you have maximum number of microstates. Means S has reached its to its maximum value. Okay. Okay. Now let me connect these things. Wait. Now what we are going to do? So Boltzmann this given this formula. So he said that S equal to I don't know there was minus or not. Let me check. K ln this, and this is nothing but number of microstates. Okay, so wait, yeah, that's fine. This is Boltzmann constant, and this this quantity is called number of microstates. Okay. So when this number will be maximum, that is the maximum entropy a system can achieve. Okay. So you can see that S is an increasing function of this. Fine. At equilibrium, what happens? So at equilibrium, if you see this microscopic origin or in this microscopic domain, at equilibrium, psi reaches to, or rather you say at equilibrium, psi is maximum. So what does it mean? We have maximum number of microstates. Okay. And there S is also maximum. After that, there will not be change in any in S unless until you change the conditions. Okay, so S is also maximum, and hence at equilibrium we also know that anyway ds is 0, that we know. Why the ds is 0? Because that S has achieved its maximum value. Now there is no change. So again, if you'll remember this dice example, and if I'll ask you that what is the equilibrium value of that microscopic property, what will be your answer? Now try to correlate. So in that dice example, if I'll ask you, remember in thermodynamics, we always report equilibrium values. Okay. So equilibrium means it is an averaged value over some number of experiments, or like when you measure the pressure, remember, think it as an experiment that molecules are directly continuously hitting the wall. So whatever you measure, it's a kind of average. That is the inherently it's there in the way we human being make the devices. We can't make molecular level device. We make macroscopic device. So we are measuring an average property. So similarly, that if you take this dice example, if I'll ask you value of macroscope, or let's say, now let me correlate it with this this statement. So I'm asking maybe Sneha or Nidhi can answer. So macroscopic property from this dice example, which was nothing but average of dice. So what you will report and why? Yeah.
3.5.
First of all, why? So you say that macroscopic property means value at equilibrium. Value at equilibrium. Okay. Because in thermodynamics you always measure value at equilibrium. So the moment you say value at equilibrium, the number of microstates should be maximum, or entropy should be max. Okay. So what you will report me as 3.5. Okay. That is the only connection we can establish. If you want more deep connection, that is the beyond of this discussion. Of course, we have to do more maths, more examples. We have to go in terms of probability, but that is the overall idea. Now, let's try to justify our postulate. So we know that S is, if you'll see microscopic definition, S is this maximum number of microstates. Now you can ask why this ln is there. We are going to that thing soon. Okay. Now tell me, we said that S is randomness, and how we define randomness? Randomness is nothing but maximum number of microstates. Randomness. And randomness, what is the physical meaning of randomness? Maximum number, or rather than number of not maximum, number of microstates. Number of larger the number of microstates, more the random system will be. Means more, sorry. So more and more configurations are available for the system. Okay, so if I'll ask you that what do you think when you have more microstates, when your internal energy is higher or internal energy is lower, when your system is more free to move?
When
Higher.
energy is higher.
Yeah, because if you think this way, that if you freeze something and if you take the temperature to 0 Kelvin, which is impossible, there will not be any movement at all. You take the example of a crystalline solid. There are microstate fixed. They cannot take multiple values of x and momentum. Whereas if you see the gases, you know from kinetic theory of gases that whatever temperature you are measuring, it's the average molecular kinetic energy. Remember 3/2.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that if the velocity of particle is fixed. Particle is these various molecules are taking different velocities. So in general, from that notion, we know that S should be a function of U. Larger the internal energy, more free particles to move or more free to take more and more microstates. Okay, for example, their position can be 1, velocity 2.5, their position can be 3.5, velocity 1, and so on. Okay, because temperature is ultimately the average property. So S, it's quite intuitive that S should increase with U. Now what about V? It is an increasing function of V. For that I have to discuss an example, and there is a shortage of time, so maybe I will write that example. I'll share it with you, that you can see that as you increase the volume, then also entropy increases. Okay, and then of course it larger the number of molecules. So I will send one example that how S increases with V with a simple example like the way we have discussed this dice example. I'll send you the examples and this. So this postulate, why I told this whole story of microscopic origin, randomness. So what is the bridge? It simply says that based on whatever we have learned in this microscopic framework, which talks about number of microstates, which is nothing but randomness. So I'm just trying to bridge everything so that on a rough partially you can appreciate and you can understand what is the link. Okay, randomness, and when we come to classical thermodynamics, we start calling it. So this thing is as entropy, and entropy is here also defined as S is a function of number of microstates. That is the definition in microscopic framework. And in microscopic framework, we try to correlate that how there will be more and more number of microstates. That is possible if you increase the U, if you have more volume, and if you have more N1, N2, and so on. So if you'll see any book, like any normal thermodynamics book, they directly start from here, thermodynamic postulates. They don't give you explanation. So I just try to give you the explanation of that, this postulate, second postulate, this. Okay. One can start directly from S, U, V, N1, N2. He can say you that, okay, this is a postulate and we are not supposed to cross question it, how we achieved this thing. That's why I wrote postulate in statistical thermodynamics. But then in order to establish that postulate, there should be some basis. I would be able to convince you. So that's what I tried from this microscopic framework. So that is the bridge. Okay, and then life is easier because ultimately I wanted to define DS mathematically. Remember, that was my target. Okay, so ultimately through this path, microscopic framework, S is function of number of microstates, which is nothing but randomness, and this number of microstates will increase with U, V, N1, N2, and so on. With this, we'll move. Okay, now I need 10 more minutes. Okay, see, let's say you have two chambers. You have two chambers. And let's say they are in mechanical equilibrium, so pressure is equal. Okay. Now let's say it is isolated system. It is isolated system. This is A and this is B. Okay. Fine. Now what we'll say that, just a moment. Yeah. So now what we are going to say is as follows. Okay. So we know that, anyone, what is du for this system? Anyone? This isolated system. No heat transfer, no work transfer. What is net du? 0. Okay. Now I can write du as dua plus dub equals to 0. Okay. Fine. Now if I want to write dua, so you see, okay, that is one thing. Second, what we know, if this system is at equilibrium, at equilibrium, if I'll ask you what is delta S of this system, delta S isolated, what will be the answer? What is ds of this system?
0.
0, because you are saying it is at equilibrium. Okay, we are saying this is at equilibrium, so delta S, yeah, isolation, this is 0. Okay, isolated is 0. Okay. Now delta S is what? Anyone? Delta S of this isolated system is delta S A plus delta S B. Fine.
Yes.
Remember, we said this is at equilibrium. I will tell you why I am saying it is at equilibrium. I am saying this is at equilibrium. In fact, yeah, this is at equilibrium. That's all. Which equilibrium we will see later on. This is at equilibrium. Fine. And this is a rigid wall. Okay. Now, if that is the case, now if you'll see what we have written, S is function of what? S is function of U, V, and N. Okay. And I said it is a rigid wall. So if I want to write ds, if you are aware of the maths, del S by del U du plus del S, sorry, dou S by dou V into dV plus dou S by dou N into UV into dF. Okay, from maths. Here what is constant? V and N. Here U and N, and here U and V. Now we have taken a rigid, we have taken the rigid wall. So what this, there is no point of this term because dV is 0, and there is no transfer of moles from one compartment to another compartment. This is also 0. So for us, ds is only dou S by dou U from mathematics, pure mathematics. V and N are constant, so I'm not writing it. Okay, you can write it V and N. Okay. So if I write my dSA, what it will be? Anyone? Del S A dou UA DUA. Fine. Snake. Just using mathematics for gas A. For DSB, del SB dou UB DUB. Fine. And if you go to my previous slide, I said my delta S isolation is 0. And what is my delta S A? If you remember, my delta S A is del S. So del S A by del UA constant Vn, right? Okay, no need to write it because that is already DUA plus del S. If you want, you can write V NA. Del S means V and Na are constant. When you write it here as a suffix, it's a constant. And then del SB, how we have defined mathematically? Del SB, dou SB by this partial derivative, dou UB into du B equals to 0. Okay, perfect. We have this and we have this, remember. This comes from equilibrium because system is at equilibrium. So there is no further change in entropy. So delta S isolation is 0 at equilibrium. And this is from the first law of thermodynamics. Since there is no work transfer, there is no heat transfer, dUA plus dUB is 0. From here, what we'll get, Nidhi? dUA is equal to minus of dUB, isn't it? Okay. So use so replace this dUB or du anyone replace this dUB with minus dUA. Let's go to next page, or we can do it here itself. No? So I'm replacing this dUB with minus dUA. Minus dUA. So I can take dUA common, right? So it will lead to a. So what we'll get? dUA is common. So what we'll get?
Del S A by
So just please tell me. Del S A by dou UA minus
del S B del U.
And of course here VA, well, whatever this volume is, VA NA, and volume of compartment B NB is equal to 0. Of course this is not 0. Okay. Individually the net du is 0. This is not 0. So in the they will come to thermal equilibrium when there will be some kind of molecules at one part of molecule it will hit the wall with some force, then from here also, and this way mutually they can transfer, they can interact to change the internal energy. Okay, but so with this what we get at thermal equilibrium. So initially when you take, they are not in thermal equilibrium, then there will be exchange of internal energy, and at the end you will see that dUA plus dUB should be 0 because net du is 0. This lead to what? Del S A by del UA at constant VA NA is equal to, so this cannot be 0, so this has to be 0, del S B by, this is not 0. Why? Because we know there is exchange of then only thermal equilibrium will be established. So by the way, this du change in du occurs in which form? In heat transfer form or in work transfer form between the two compartments? Anyone? If we take the
same initially, then it will be in heat transfer form.
Yeah, because there is no other way. No? You are taking two compartments and they are in at different temperature, and then the only way to change their internal energy is by heat transfer, so that at the end their net du should be 0. I am not saying anything about temperature. Keep it in mind. I am just saying net du is 0. Okay. So when you bring these two compartments together, and if heat can pass through this partition, and if you consider it as an isolated system, you are not giving any heat or any work from the outside, then one thing we certainly know from first one, net du is 0. However, net du is 0, but they can exchange among each other. Okay, and that's what is happening, and then you establish the equilibrium. So at equilibrium, we know delta S isolation is 0, and at equilibrium, in order to reach the equilibrium, they have exchanged some internal they have changed their internal energy through exchange of heat energy. So we also know du, whatever is the decrease in one portion, that should be increase in other portion of internal energy, so that the net remains 0, right? The same thing I said in words.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now remember, we said there is a heat transfer. Okay, and when there is heat transfer, and when you are bringing two compartments at different temperature in contact, then what becomes what should be equal for those two? Which property which should be equal for them at thermal equilibrium? Temperature, and this is the definition of temperature. T equals to TB. So if we'll see, the definition of temperature is this. Okay, so now, and for the rest of the class I'm going to use it directly because I'm not going to prove it, but that comes from this postulate of thermodynamics. So Probably you never, I don't think you have seen it that d is del s by del u at constant Vn. Okay. Just check the dimension should be del u by del s or it should be 1 by Ta probably. Let me check. No, it's fine, isn't it? dq is so s, u has same form of q, right? So how define dq is tds, na? So it should be 1 by t, I guess, right?
Yes, sir. It should be
This
1
is
by
1 by t, 1 by, just to keep the units proper. So this is 1 by t. So basically the, now you will always remember the temperature definition is del u by del s as constant Vn. And the way I proved it for this thermal equilibrium, if we'll do the same mathematics by saying they are at pressure equilibrium, you will come to know pressure is also minus del u by del V at constant Sn. Okay. I will send it as a, I mean, I'll write it and send it to you. Okay. So with this, since now we know the definition of temperature, the temperature is del u by del S at constant Vn. Let's do quickly this thing. What is the first law? So let's write it. Temperature is del u by del S at constant Vn. Okay. Now we know from first law that dou Q equals to du du plus delta dou W. Okay. Now let's say you do the process reversibly. So put reversible here, put reversible here. So dou Q reversible is du plus what is this delta W reversal? PdV, right? You agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Because
sir.
reversal means we can write PdV. Now, if I say that okay, now what I should say is just a moment. So now from here, if I want to just give me a moment. This is fine up to this point. Wait, now from here, if I want to move to ds, I have to check, to be very frank. We are very close, but that small step is very crucial. Let me see so that I don't make any mistake. And then you can leave. Just a moment. Okay. So now what we'll do is, yeah. So this we know that dou Q reversible is du plus PdV. Okay, fine. So what we can write du as dou Q reversible minus PdV. That we know from first law. Okay. So remove this arrow. This we know from first law. Okay. So this is from first law. Fine. Now, if you remember, we have said that S is function of what? U, V, and N. If that is the case, I can say U is also a function of SVN. There is no harm, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If S is function of V and U is function of SVN. Okay. Now I will write du. If I write du, what I can write? Del U by del S at constant V N ds plus del U by del V at constant S N. Okay. And the number of moles are not changing in our case. We are discussing for a closed system, let's say. Closed system. Okay, perfect. So this will lead to du equals to, anyone, what is this quantity? Del U by del S as constant Vn?
T.
T. So T ds. Anyone, which is this quantity? If you want to see, you can go back. This is pressure. Okay, we can prove it. The way we prove this thermal equilibrium, through pressure equilibrium, we can prove this is the definition of pressure. So this is minus P. Okay. So this is minus P dV. That we got completely from mathematics and statistical definition of temperature, dou U by dou S at constant Vn. So we have equation A and we have equation B. Just compare it. Left hand sides are equal. Okay. Because let's say I am changing the state with the same thing. So du is same. PdV minus PdV is same. So what we get? What else should be same?
dq reversible.
Yes.
is equals
So
to
that's
PdV.
how that was the whole agenda actually. That dou Q reversible is TDS. So ds is defined as dou Q reversible by T. That's how we establish this formula of entropy change, starting from this microscopic framework. So you start from microscopic framework, you convince yourself, then you go to thermodynamic postulate, where you came to know S is a function of UV, N1, N2, and so on. But if you are taking a closed system, then this N1, N2, and all this doesn't matter. You should simply take S is only function of U and V. And then you establish du, and then thermal equilibrium tells you. So the story, thermal equilibrium tells you that dou U by dou S at constant Vn should be T, and mechanical equilibrium tells you, that dou U by dou V at constant Sn is minus P. So using maths and first law, you came to know that ds is dou Q reversible by T. Why I told you? Because here we don't use any Clausius, that Carnot cycle and then summation of dou Q by T0, cyclic integral 0. No, this is completely from the statistical point of view. So now we got the same thing there also, that delta Q reversible by T is ds. So that's where this is the formula. This is the formula where both statistical thermodynamics and classical meet each other. This formula is same for both. Otherwise, things are different. Okay. Okay. Sneh, Nidhi, thanks to all. I understand these things need a lot of patience. So, but my only purpose was that you should get some idea. If someone asks you in future, if you become a academician or doing research or in general, you'll find this concept of entropy is valid even in economics also. You'll find someday if you'll explore. So that's why I thought that I should talk about entropy, randomness, and then how we can bridge it. Of course, we bridge it through this formula in thermodynamics, but in general. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you, sir.
weekend में थोड़ा destroy किया.
Thank you, sir.
Extra time मैंने मुझे मिल नहीं रहा था, so I thought okay, let's use this. चलो स्नेह, bye.
Bye, sir.
Pooja is there, Sneh, Subhajit, Vaishnavi is there. So Pooja, how was it?
Sir, it was good, like knowing the things.
Yeah, I mean all the things it's difficult to understand. I ready to acknowledge it. For anyone, it's not easy, but that's fine. I mean, at least you should get some idea. Chalo,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.